here we are. The match that I overbooked over crisscross. We're gonna have the one more time a rematch again with EK Fair. I said Eric Fair. Sorry about that. EK Fair and Jayden V. World Championship title cage match here in the Adrenaline Zone. EK Fair, the fan favorite here in SPW. The fans just love him and his fighting spirit. The fearless EK Fair climbing up that cage, that 15 feet cage, entering this ring. So after Sin City, Jayden V and Excalibur, TNT's own Excalibur, made a run-in at Sin City, attacking Jayden V. So you know, with that SPW, every man all over the world is gunning for that championship. Every man in this industry wants to be an SPW World Champion and put their names in the history books of SPW. Because they know that SPW is the place to be. And let's get this cage match started, guys. Let's get this main event started. And here we go. A draw kick by Jayden V. Jayden V bouncing off the rope. What does he have set up? Jayden V trying to get out of the cage now, trying to get out of the dodge, and there we see EK Fair with a spinning back kick, nailing Jayden V in the back, having him fly off that cage. Irish whip to the rope, sending Jayden V flying, and now look at this. Kicks, the educated feet of EK Fair, locking him up between the cage, and those kicks, brutal kicks, and takes him off the top rope. Jayden V try to ting and try to get out of dodge, and now the mounted punches by EK Fair. EK Fair is doing this for his friend Phantasm. Doing this out of retribution, out of not winning that SPW World Championship title at Sin City. And the kicks to the face, kicks to the sternum, educated feet, sandwiching him in between this cage and those educated feet, pulling him back in the ring now, and stomps, and a swanton right there. Another 450. EK Fair just taking apart the SPW World Champion Jayden V, setting up Jayden V for a Hurricane Rana out of the corner. EK Fair looked like he cut his knee on that cage. Now, and face first, and now you're seeing the blood spill. What that steel cage can do to you. We see when that steel cage did to Phantasm and David Claudio at Sin City, and it wasn't a pretty picture. And EK Fair climbing up to the top of that cage. What is he gonna do? Absolutely fearless, and he goes for this frog splash off the top of the 15-foot cage. Irish whip to the rope, throwing him into that cage there, and mounted punches. As Jayden V got cut on the arm there, bleeding from the arm. EK Fair bleeding from the knee. That cage will rip you to shreds. A lot of people might underestimate this cage, but it'll tear you apart. These cage matches are very, very dangerous. You've seen what it did to Phantasm. Phantasm has a serious concussion. We don't know if he's capable of getting back in the ring. We don't even know if he's capable of getting back in the ring anymore after what David Claudio did to him. EK Fair struggling to get back up now. He sees that Jayden V is out, and he knocked Jayden V off the cage, throwing his own body into the cage. EK Fair will put his own body on the line to get a win here tonight. EK Fair, this cage, he's not afraid of this cage match. He's been in a human demolition match, which he's been temporarily blinded. EK Fair ain't afraid of this. He'll put his own body on the line as he threw himself into that cage to knock Jayden V off of the cage on the other side. And EK Fair Irish whipping Jayden V into the barricade now. These guys are battling on the outside. You can win this match via pinfall and submission. Climbing out of that cage will not award you a victory, clearly because the both men are outside. And what is Jayden V? He's trying to get out of dodge, it looks like. Jayden V walking up the rampway. heading to the back. And EK Fair, the fearless one, on the chase. This guy's heading to the back, and Jayden V nowhere to be found. And there we see it was a setup. We should have known it all along that this would have been a setup. Tornado David Claudio meeting EK Fair on the backstage area, bashing his head into on the cement floor. Jayden V got out of dodge. You know Jayden V paid David Claudio to save his ass right now. And EK Fair climbing up that cage. He wants David Claudio to come up that cage, and David Claudio following him in that ring. These guys, EK Fair ain't joking. He wants to fight this man. He's not joking. Oh, David Claudio jumped off the cage, which EK Fair didn't even expect that. Clonking EK Fair. And what is this? Has that one-legged Boston Crab in the middle of that ring. And he locks up EK Fair. Irish shoots him to the cage. And T-bone suplexes him. David Claudio doesn't give a fuck. Stitches and all. He does not give a damn about any man that stands in his way. He's out to ruin careers with a neck breaker right there. He possibly almost, he possibly almost ruined the career of Phantasm. What makes you think he's not going to ruin the career of EK Fair? David Claudio gets paid off for money, power, respect. He's the money, power, respect insurance policy. And that swanton. The swanton off the top rope. That same swanton he did purposely on the head of Phantasm, sandwiching Phantasm's head between his own body weight and the chair. And it looks like David Claudio did his damage as he's trying to get out of the cage. EK Fair trying to get back on his feet to chase him. And look at David Claudio just hanging there watching him. And EK Fair bounces off the cage to push him off. And EK Fair turning around now to be welcomed to Jayden V and a fire extinguisher that has bloodied him up. Money, power, respect, it's all mind games. They are a gang. They're not a faction. They're a gang. They're out to hurt guys. Look at this. EK Fair once again on the receiving end of a money, power, respect beatdown as Jayden V beating him down with the fire extinguisher, bloodying him up. Jayden V now picking up his championship title. What is this? Choking the life out of EK Fair now. Trying to choke him out, trying to strangle him with his bare hands. What a main event. And with the title. With the championship title. Jayden V nailing EK Fair with the championship title. Where's Excalibur when you need him? And Irish strips him into the cage. And a drop kick. And nailing him in the face with that title. Nailing him in the face with that title. Bloodying him. Bloodying him up. Face covered in blood. And now they're fighting both like caged animals in this cage. And EK Fair fighting back now. And what is this? Double arm hook suplex, and he drops the knee in his ribs. Picks up the fire extinguisher. This is a complete beatdown. EK Fair was set up by money, power, respect. In the back of his head. In the back of his head. The 1, 2, 3. EK Fair. Jayden V beats EK Fair and retains the World Championship title. You see now final blow with the fire extinguisher in the back of EK Fair's head. completely knocking EK Fair out. That was sick. Right in the back of EK Fair's head. You know how dangerous that is. What kind of head injuries does EK Fair has as Jayden V walks out of this cage match still world champion thanks to David Claudio. Jayden V and Money, Power, Respect get the last laugh here again here tonight. And this was Adrenaline 15, ladies and gentlemen, live from Charlotte, North Carolina.